Hello, hello, hello. This is the very first live event from Passive Income with Content, my new Facebook group. So, trying to kind of get people on the group, but I really wanted to do some live content anyway before we get a ton of people in the group. As the group grows, I know that there'll be more interaction because I want to do more of these live events, and I want people, whether they come in live, watch the replay. This is going to be filled with a ton of content every single time this happens. It won't be very long, but I have some great things prepared for these live events, and I'm ready to get going. We've got some people coming on. I've invited a bunch of people as well. Just sent out the email list. So let's get rocking and rolling because I want to value your time, okay? So over the weekend, I went to a marketing event in Brooklyn. I always like to take advantage of anything that happens around New York, whether it's New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, all the same to me because it's about an hour and a half travel time. But I always like to get out and network, meet other people that are trying to make it online, whether they're, full-time or focusing on getting to, the full-time status like I did in 2013. And so it was great. And I met a lot of great people. Actually, they were all women. It was for only women, this specific group. But nonetheless, I think that whether you're a woman or a man, a lot of the same struggles kind of come up, right? And one of the biggest things that I saw at this event were people who, were standing up and saying all the great things and all the ways, mostly coaches, how they help people in their business and what they strive to do and the outcomes and the goals that they try to get when it comes to somebody needing their help and their end result, right? And one of the things that I noticed across the board was that people were saying, yes, I'm very good at what I do, right? I bring people from this problem and I help them solve it, and I bring them to A to Z, and this is my process. I've been practicing this process for 20 years, and I'm the expert, I'm the go-to expert when it comes to doing whatever that they do, right? And so then that could be true, and these people might have helped hundreds, if not thousands, of people, in the 20 years that they've been helping people. But when you try to bring your business from, let's say, offline or maybe one-on-one solutions to online marketing, unfortunately, it doesn't quite matter what you do until you can explain to people in a manner that translates to how you can help them and turn them into a customer, right? So no matter what you've done, it's like writing a book, right? You can have the best book in the world, but if you can't explain in your title, in your description, in any testimonials that you have, if you can't explain and actually sell people on why they should buy your program, they should buy your book, why you are the go-to person, then unfortunately they're never going to see the other side, what's behind closed doors. Okay? So and this is what a lot of people that are coming online, or even a lot of people who are struggling, they don't quite understand this concept, okay? So what is the underlying thing that I am saying here is that you need to know how to copyright and understand the language and how to sell the people that are coming to your pages, that are coming to your videos, that are looking for solutions and to problems that you help solve. You can be the best person in the world to help solve these specific problems, but if you cannot convey that in your marketing, then that's a big problem. Okay? So you can be an expert, it's fine, but you also have to understand the way to sell online. You have to understand that, because without understanding that core concept of why people buy, then unfortunately you're going to have a hard time with converting people from just looking at your stuff, browsers, to actually customers. Okay, so I've got some so if you can, I noticed that there are some people here right now. If you can write down that you actually just type in that you actually get what I am saying, you understand that you can have the best content behind those, door number one, or behind a book, or behind any piece of content that you're selling. But if you don't know how to actually get people to get to the next step, whether it's opting in or purchasing something via your words, via copywriting, via your text or videos, then you're going to have a hard time converting people into customers. Okay? So if you can just type in, heck yes, I understand, whatever it is, if you get what I'm saying, please type it in, because I want to give you 3 solutions, 3 action steps right now that you can take to either overcome this hurdle of I need more, I need to grow my list. I need more customers, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Lynn says, I totally understand this and look forward to learning how the next step. Yes, absolutely. This would all be useless without some actionable items that you can take away and do. And I just want to say this too. And I don't want you to get scared away or anything, because the copywriting factor is very, very important, okay, for anything that you're doing online. Everything is copywriting, okay? But I've been copyright. If you're online, you've got to learn copywriting. The day that I started online in 2010, I believe it was around St. Patrick's Day in March, that was the first day that I became a student of copywriting. Yes, I was learning how to sell online, whatever. But to this day, 8 years later, I'm still a student of copywriting. I am no way an expert, but I have a gist, I have an understanding of how to actually, make sales online. And I'm going to explain that to you. Zaranya, hi, how are you? Thank you for being so active in the group so far. You have to be, in one sentence, what you are offering, clear about what you're offering. Kind of can't see everything here that you wrote for some reason. And I'm still learning this Facebook Live stuff too, so we'll get there together, okay? So, all right, so we're going to have 3 action steps on how you can become a better salesperson, become a better copywriter online, so that you can sell more of what you are offering, okay? Now, what I have down here is little by little. You might hear my dogs barking in the background. Little by little, you can learn little by little every single day, all right? And you don't need to become an expert. You don't need to become a world-class copywriter, but you do need to be successful and understand what copywriting is and how to do it. And like me, if you are really, really, really committed, you're constantly a student of copywriting. You're always looking at different ways of how to say something or how to sell something, and always learning, okay? So here are the 3 things that you can do, the action steps. Number 1 is you can learn your customers' pain points and pleasure points, okay? So their pain points and their pleasure points. So pain, what is it that your customer is struggling with? What are they worrying about? What keeps them up at night? Think about it. It's always kind of easier, and this really helps, is that if you can think about why you buy something. So if you understand your own buyer psychology, and if you're in your own market, this will help a lot. So I'm a buyer in my own market, and I really try to pay attention to what makes me click that buy button, what makes me put my email address in the box, right? What is the thing that's like, yes, I want this? And I really try to stop, because I'm a student of copywriting and buyer psychology and what motivates people to buy, what motivates people to spend $50 on an online product as opposed to spending $50 on dinner tonight, right? So maybe, they have a choice. Everybody has a choice of how they want to spend their money. And so really try to pay attention to that. Also, on the flip side, what are your customers' desires? Where do they want to be? What problems do they want to be solved, right? So some problems are bigger than other problems. So if you're copywriting and let's say you have problems from, A to Z, and you're copywriting and you're harping on problem K, right? That's low. That's a low priority. So you have to kind of prioritize the problems and the pleasure points of what your customers want or what they want solved. Okay? You really have to hone in on this. And I'm not saying that this is going to be easy, okay? There are times when you might need to do a little bit of guessing. You might need to do a little bit of research. Maybe if you don't have an audience of your own, maybe go to other people who are selling your like products and look at what they're saying, which actually brings me to action step number 2. And this is something that I'm doing every single day. Before I get to number 2, please type in, interact with me, and type in that you get what action step number 1 is. Listing your customers' pain points and their pleasure points, okay? Right? What they fear and what they really, really struggle with, and then on the flip side, where they want to be. Just type in that you get it, that you know what you want to do, that you know what you have to do first. All right, just type in. I will do it. Actually, I'm interacting here also on my desktop. So let's see. I get it. And number 1 is understanding the pain points and the pleasure points. All right, so that's number 1. Perfect. We got that. Number 2. All right, number 2. Thanks, Henry. Henry says, got it. Cool. Number 2 is you want to have your own swipe file. And what I mean by swipe file is again, what are some other ways that other people are selling their products? Now, the interesting part about this is that it doesn't even need to be in the same industry. So I'll give you an example. There's a company that is really cool. It's got, really cool for me, right? It's got clothes that you become a monthly member, and it's got clothes that you can like swap every single month. So you have like 7 pieces of clothes and accessories that you pick out from a whole, like it's like online shopping. They send it to you, they send you the box, and then when you're done, you send it back and you get a whole other box with all new clothes again, right? So I paid attention to the marketing and the video that they were doing to sell to their customers. Now, clothing has nothing to do with passive income, nothing to do with online marketing, but the way that they were selling and the way that they were explaining everything, just you could see that, and you could correlate that, or plug and play your business or whatever it is that you're selling into other companies' models. Okay, so you can find all types of different markets, preferably ones that are selling like the health market, or the health market is huge, right? The diet market, whether they're selling exercise products or eating, diet systems, whatever it is. Just pay attention to how they're grabbing people's attention. And when you actually find your own swipe file, you make a Google Doc, you make a spreadsheet, and you keep them. Because what happens is that you're going to find something that you like, and then your computer is going to need updates, and then you're going to close everything and then lose everything. You don't want that to happen. Thanks, Lynn says, I do get it. Great reminder. Thanks, Zaranya, also. So what you want to do is you want to, so number 2 is create your own swipe file on a Google spreadsheet, so you can access it later. Okay. So the swipe file is just anything you're like, wow, I really like this marketing, right? Or I really like this video, or I really like how this person said this. And then all of a sudden, whenever you need to tap into some help with anything that you're writing or saying, then you can always look at your swipe file and be reminded of this. Okay, I find that very, very important to have little reminders to help yourself. So what you're doing is you're making this Google spreadsheet, and you're taking care of your future self. Okay, so that you document it at that time, and then when your future self needs help later on with some copy or with some words, whatever it is, then you're going to be able to help yourself with that. Okay. Lynn says, I like the idea to learn from other markets. Yep. Pay attention. Absolutely. Always pay attention, because there's so many nuggets to grab from that. And let me just add these people here. Let's see. Great. And Lynn says, what details am I actually grabbing? Great question. So what you're looking for mostly is how they're grabbing your attention, mostly in the headline, right? Well, how are they first grabbing that attention? And also, what are they either saying in their videos to, keep your attention and keep you interested? And what kind of calls to action are they making? Like, are they saying click here, buy now, whatever it is? And also, which is a great segue, Lynn, to my last action step. Okay, my last action step. So please type in, if you get it, if you get action step number 2 is you're creating your own swipe file, you're documenting this, you're looking ahead and saving your future self for when you need help or when you need things to pull, just ideas to help you market your own stuff, okay? It's very, very important that you realize that you don't have to invent everything, okay? You look at what's already working and then you kind of mold it to whatever it is that you're doing in your own business, okay? And you're learning every single day. You're a student of copywriting. You're also an expert in what you do, but it doesn't matter that you're an expert in what you do until you can convince people to actually see the stuff that you're doing. All right? It's so important because, again, when over the weekend I was seeing these people like, yeah, like, I know my stuff works. Like, I'm the best in the world at this, right? Fortunately, you're not the best copywriter in the world. And unfortunately, it's very hard to be an even good copywriter. Like, there are some people who do copywriting and they get paid a lot of money and they really know what they're doing. And then there's people like us who are learning and we're students along the way and we're trying things, we're trialing and erroring things constantly all day long, every single day to see what works and what doesn't work, right? And the thing that you need to know about copywriting is that there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about the testing. It's all about the testing. So what works in one market might not work in another, okay? So even if you do pull great copywriting from your swipe file, that doesn't necessarily mean it's 100% going to work, but you're kind of now seeing and playing around with the words and playing around with what could possibly work, as opposed to saying, just staring at a blank screen and trying to write your own copy, which is very, very hard to do, okay? So the last action step here, and this can obviously be its own Facebook Live, but I will talk about it, is I want you to start thinking about bullet points. Bullet points, as you see online, they will help sell your product. So remember when we were talking about the pain points and the pleasure points in the action step number 1. That the bullet points is where you actually feed into that, okay? So I could say something like, create more passive income in your business so that you don't have to be spending 20 hours a day, every day on the computer working and while your family is having fun without you or something like that, right? Because so what I'm saying there is that why do people want passive income? So that they could do the work once and then make money from it over and over and over and over again, right? So one of the pain points is, I have to work to get money. I have to spend all day long in front of this computer and, I'm missing my life. I can't spend time with my family. I can't do what I want because I have to sit here at a desk all day and work for my money. Right? So that's a pain point, right? And so in my bullet, I'm actually focusing on that pain point, and I am using that, real estate, that content space to say, hey, look, buy my product because this is what it's going to actually do for you. Okay? Lynn says, are bullet points kind of like features versus benefits? Yeah, I mean, you want to definitely bring out those benefits more so than the features in the bullet points. So make sure that you're really honed in on what is in it for that person? Where could it bring that person? What will that person get out of my product, my book, my service, whatever it is? Okay? So you can even make, what you can do is, you in your swipe file in your Google Doc, you could have a sheet for your example URLs that you put, and then you can also have in another sheet, you can have like a list of all your bullet points that you choose from, and also pay attention what other bullet points other people are using, because you can always try to plug in your information into those other bullet points from your swipe file. Okay? And while you're doing this, you should be paying attention to why, again, what's compelling about that copy? Why are you putting that copy on your swipe file? What is it that that person is doing to get you in a buying mode, right? Or mood, whatever it is. So really think about it and really study it. You don't have to take long to do it. And once you kind of really kind of get sucked into this copywriting world, then you'll like to do this stuff. And you will realize that this is actually where the money is. And I'll leave you with this if you don't believe me or whatever. And I've seen it a million times where somebody has the best product behind closed doors, right? And their copywriting is so-so. And then another person has a semi-okay product, but really great copywriting. Tell me who you think is going to be making more money in that scenario. The person that has really good content, but so-so copywriting, or the one that has so-so content, but great copywriting? What do you think? What do you think? While you type that in, I'm going to type in number 3 is start jotting down bullet points to help you sell your products. Put this in your Google Doc swipe file as another sheet. All right. So again, the reason why you want to keep this this Google Doc is because you want to keep record of it. You don't want to lose it, and you don't want to forget where you're actually finding good stuff. Trust me, I've made the mistake, and you're only going to help yourself. You're only going to help yourself in the long run. I promise you. Okay? Because you don't want to spend an hour and a half trying to find content that you found already. And I've done it. And it's very frustrating. Good marketing always beats product content. Unfortunately, yes. And the semi-professional product will do better and make more money. Now, arguably, yes, they might not have happy customers in the end. You can say that. But they're the ones that are walking away with more money. Okay? What do we want here at the end of the day, guys? Okay? So those are my 3 action steps for this first Facebook Live, and I want to thank you for joining me. This is really, really exciting and really fun and really cool, and I look forward to doing more of these live with you. So to recap, I put all of the action steps in the comments here. The first one, really quick, is learn your customers' pain points and pleasure points. If you have to also write that out, write it out. It will save you later on. Have your own swipe file. Number 2 is have your own swipe file that you save, that you access at any time in a Google Doc, preferably Google spreadsheet. so that you can always add to it and always find stuff. And then lastly, you also want to pay attention to bullets, any headlines, anything that grabs you to buy something, because if you pay attention to your own buyer psychology, then it's likely that you can learn how to help others and sell others on the great stuff that you do, okay? Thank you so much, everyone, for coming, and I'll see you on the next Facebook Live. Bye-bye. Hey, it's Debbie. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Also, give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I'll respond to each and every one of your comments. Thanks, and I'll see you on the next live session.